Hey, welcome back everybody. This week we're going to talk about a great Robert Plant song from 1987, 88 called Ship of Fools. It was off the album Now and Zen, and it featured changeover in his band. So the first couple albums that he released after Led Zeppelin, he had 2 or 3 albums and some great songs there. Robbie Blunt was the guitar player. Now he has a new guitar player brought in. His name is Doug Boyle, and he and that band pretty much stuck together for another 2 or 3 albums, I believe. But this song, Ship of Fools, it was sort of, sort of like the heir apparent to Big Log in a sort of way, as we'll see as we go through it. But it had that, same sort of haunting, super clean, stratish sound to it, and some interesting parts. So we're going to talk through that song today. Hey, if you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you go down here and click the button to subscribe. If you like what you're seeing, click like, and let me know in the comments if there's other songs you want me to take on in lessons similar to this. I do lessons at least every single week. All right, so Ship of Fools. So I actually got to see them live when they came out. It was a super exciting time. They toured in 1988, I think. I was working at Warehouse Records in Walnut Creek, California when I was in college, and Robert Plant tickets came out and went to see him down in Shoreline Amphitheater. And this is the program. And it was awesome because it was the first time, I think, since Led Zeppelin broke up that he was allowing himself to play Led Zeppelin songs live. And they played a lot of them. They played, 3, 4 songs at least live in addition to the solo songs that they did. It was awesome. This song, Ship of Fools, was definitely a moment in the show, and it featured, again, that new guitar player, Doug Boyle, and showed what he can do. I'm going to link an interesting interview with him, by the way, which was done relatively recently, with him looking back on his time with Robert Plant and talking about that experience. It's a pretty interesting listen. So when you're done with this lesson, go ahead, click that, and you'll hear a little more about Doug Boyle's experience working with Robert Plant. Okay, so the song. So first of all, his gear, he was using, I think, Ibanez guitars at the time, and then later on he moved on to Hamers, but sort of a Strat or Super Strat sort of configuration, which was all over the place in the 80s. But any kind of Strat-ish guitar will get you really close to what that tone is. You want to have some chorus on it. You want to have a little bit of delay. My delay is to this setting. And I'll show you what that setting is here on my delay pedal. And my pickup setting, I've got it on the number 2 position, so splitting, the 2 bridge, and the middle is the sort of closest tone, I think, to what he's using on this song. All right, so first thing you want to do is throw away your pick. He's 100% using his fingers on this. So I'm going to teach it in that way and walk through that lesson in that way. All right. Most of the parts I'll go through sort of slowly, and over my shoulder you'll see what the sort of either chords or the arpeggio picking is going to be. But here we go. All right. So the song is mostly around, I think it's in the key of E minor, and most of the things that he's playing are pretty much built around, E minor and D sort of finger positions, which we'll go through in each section here. So the first section is the intro. Okay, so the intro is based off of sort of an E minor to D sort of piece. So this is the fingering that you want for that intro. So you can see the picture over here. So the first part, I'm going to show you the chords first, and then we'll talk about the finger picking. So this is the first chord. You're going to have that open E string. You're going to stick with that open E string, and then you're going to bring that down to like the part of a D, if this was a D bar chord here, and leave that E open. Okay, so that's the first two chords that you're going to see. And by the way, throughout this whole song, when he's picking, he's usually, I think 100% of the time, he's on the fourth string to the first string the whole time. I don't think he's doing any bass notes. He's letting the bass and the keyboards take care of those tones, but he's really staying on the high top. You can hear that sound is very crisp, very clean. So all the guitar that you're hearing is, I think, 100% or 99% all the way up on strings 1 through 4 for everything that you're doing. Okay, so the first riff, the fingering goes like this. Switch down. Then you're going to build a little line here that's based off sort of an E minor 7 shape, right? Or it can be thought of as off of a D. I think that's what it is. It's off of a D. It's off of a D major chord. So it goes like this. All right, so those three again. All right, and then the last little bit, you're going to come up here to 12, and you're going to do this this movement. Okay, you can think of that as maybe a part of a D, of a C. So again, one more time, slowly. Now, if you really want to get like the record, you'll notice there's a couple pull-offs. So the pull-off on this position is, so it's not, it's, you pull it off. And then the pull-off up here is not, it'll sound fine if you don't do the pull-off, but I'm just trying to catch those little nuances. So. Oh yeah, then you hammer back on. And then you repeat. So that's the intro riff. Now let's move on to the verses. So again, you're going to stick on sort of strings 4 through 1. So before I talk through the individual part, I'll give context sort of on the chords that are sort of going on. Okay, so those chords, if you think about them from strings 4 to 1, the E minor is like this. G, C, you just flatten your ring finger there. And then you're going to go down to your open G and walk down to E for the second sort of part of the verse. And the chords that end on the second part of the verse, remember, are a little different. It get resolved to an A minor, D kind of thing. So that's, again, E minor, G, and then A minor, D. So again, I'm just starting from the fourth string, working my way down, A minor, D, or technically I guess that's a D7. Okay, so one time all the way through on those parts. Then at the end of the I think, first verse, after you do that A minor D, he resolves back to an A minor thing. Before he runs back in the second verse. That little part right there, I swear was done on purpose to be a nod to that song Big Log, you know, from a couple albums before, you know. Which was another great piece of art. And if you haven't seen my lesson on Big Log, check that right here. But it just seems, you know, like, it just seems like it's a, I don't know, related, and I felt like they did it on purpose. Maybe they didn't, but in my head they did. Okay, and then it runs through that verse pattern again, and you get to the pre-chorus. So when you're coming out of the next verse, then you're going to, the chords are G, I'm already violating my rule. I'm hitting the bass note, just because when I'm sitting there playing this song by myself, I want to hear the bass accompaniment, but technically I don't think he's doing that on the record. But so that part again, it's an A minor, G, D, again, G, or this G will work. Then the chords on the chorus, Crazy on a Ship of Fools, is G, E minor, D. With this little hook. So that's just part of a D shape, and you're sliding up, down. Then it's a C chord, but he's just playing the top part. You want to catch that high E. And then walk down from the C note. Right? I always wanted to do, or some sort of harmony, but let the bass do the bass part. You just do your guitar. E minor, G, C, and then this, which I believe is a B, well, it's related to a B minor 7. Somebody will tell me what it is. It's that chord. It's a very Police sounding chord. Okay, and then it goes back again. Okay, so now let's talk about getting to the guitar solo and going through that part. So leading to the guitar solo, there's one more chord coming out of that chorus section. So Crazy on a Ship of Fools. An A plus 2, and that's your key that you're moving into the guitar solo. All right, so let's talk about the guitar solo. It's built right off of this E minor shape. You're going to roll the first 4 notes starting from the root on that chord. And when you get to that high note, just pick up the fingers so you don't have those other notes ringing. Then you move on to this part of the E minor. You're sort of playing around E minor 7. Right? Right? So that's just sort of off of an E minor E minor scale, E minor 7. Next part. So you can see that's, again, part of that E minor chord. And there's a part of an E minor 7. So you're still sticking with that theme. Then you slide up here. Right? Now you're going to do a pull-off. You're going to my ear, I mean, the notes are here. But I hear a pull-off to my ear. So the easy way is to do it this way. But I sort of hear it like this. And he does it twice. So the first time it's, and the second time it's more pronounced, and then he puts another piece on the end of it. Okay? All right, now here's the little part that took a little while for me to get. So the way I think about this is he's going to start with sort of a roll based off of the E, and then he's going to move into a C shape. All right, and you know, here's the part I'm talking about. Right, so think of it as that part of the E chord. Then you're going to slide up. Right, you do sort of a, if you want to think of it as a, in the context of a C, I guess that's a C6. And then you end it down here. All right. Right? That's sort of the hardest part of the solo, in my opinion. So now you're down here on 7. You're going to do another piece based off of an E minor 7, and it's another sort of rolling arpeggio part of the chord. Right? So it's just that shape. Then we're going to do a chromatic walk down on your G string from 7 to 5. And then up down on the first string. Now we're going to have a lick that we repeat twice, 2 frets away from each other. Here's the first one. Slide down 2 frets, do the same thing. And we're going to come out of that back to our E minor shape. And all we're going to do is take that E minor chord, and you're going to pick 3 notes. You're going to start from the 4th string, then move it down a string, and do the same things. Keep building off your E minor chord, but now you're starting from the 3rd string. Right? So. And that's how you end it. Right? Now you're back to your intro riff, but you start with a pluck on the G string. And then here's the part that gets you out of the solo. All right, so coming out of the solo, I'm sort of 99% sure on this one. There's a couple ways that you can play it. It's difficult for me to really pick it apart by ear. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do it. The easier way, again, it's right off of this E minor shape. And you're just going to do sort of some hammer-ons starting here on the 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, so all together. So I think those are the notes. But it seems like there's a couple notes that are rubbing together at the same time, which leads me to think that he's playing it a little bit differently than that. I think he's doing something closer to this. Whoop. So it's the same notes. I just think he's doing a slide and he's letting these two notes rub together. So it's these two. So it's a little bit bigger of a stretch with your fingers. But that sounds closer to what I'm hearing. So that's the hard way. Here's the easy way. Here's the hard way. Pick what you want. Okay, so the last part of the song, and one of the prettiest, is the outro. This is coming out of the last chorus, and beautiful little pieces that he's playing here. So he's got one more time on the, on the main riff that you do at the opening. Now the bass that's going on, from here on out. So it's that sort of E minor, G, C, B, then walk down to E. That's what's happening sort of behind. And what he's playing over that is, he does a little 12 fret harmonic. So that's just, think of it as moving from a D sort of shape to a G shape, is what's happening there. Coming down to your building off of a bend, the typical bend that you would do off of this E minor shape. And you slide it down a fret at the end of your bend. Okay, and then there's this piece. So this is, think of it as, part of a G and part of a D, triad, I guess. So it's this G shape, this D shape, and then strings 2 and 3. So again, part of a G, part of a D. And you hear how that delay hits the echoes at the right time? I want to time that delay with the tempo of the song. And then your final big chord is this one. You hear those 4 notes, but I think there's also an A in there. And when you see him play it live, by the way, here's a link to that. That's where his position is there. And that is Ship of Fools. So what do you think? Did you learn something new with that? Did I get anything wrong? Let me know either way in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, if you like what you saw here today, click like and click subscribe. It really helps the channel, and it helps the algorithm tell you or serve you more things that you do like this. So anyway, let me know if there's a song you want me to take on. If you got a suggestion on a lesson like this, I would love to hear it. I do these every single week. And until next week, take care, everybody.